The best TV soapy category, simply SMS M to 45242. The lines are now open. Terms and conditions apply.
To 8, long-distance extreme cold swimmer Theodore Yach has just completed crossing from Robben Island to Cape Town. The 55-year-old, who has made the open waters his second home, was doing this for the 70th time, I tell you. Swimming in tough conditions, sometimes icy waters as cold as 11 degrees. He believes there is no such thing as impossible. Teaching water safety and swimming skills to previously disadvantaged children is his focus. Theodore is joining us from our Seapoint studios. And I just remind you again, unfortunately, we have a problem with the sound in our Seapoint studios in Cape Town. But to be chatting to him over the phone. Good to have you, Theodore. Thank you very, very much for being our guest here on Morning Live.
Thank you very much, and good morning to your listeners.
Theodore, what inspired your love of swimming?
My late father was an Olympic water polo player in 1952, so we kind of fell into the sport at a very young age. And yes, I've been swimming for the last 50 or so years.
That's amazing. I mean, back in 2010, you were honored by the City of Cape Town and awarded the Mayor's Medal for your contribution to community development. What motivates you? You know, what really is your ultimate goal to achieve?
That's a good question. I think the goals are there to be revised. The award from the city was for the work that I did helping create the Central City Improvement District. But from a swimming perspective, my goals are so 70 Robben Island swims are now past me, and I'm looking for the next challenge, and hopefully I'll be able to continue for as long as I'm healthy.
Oh, well, I mean, you talk about this 70 times. That's a lot of times. I can imagine the amount of things that have happened to you, like getting stung by jellyfish and I suppose playing with the penguins and the dolphins. What's it like? I mean, talk us through what a journey is like for you.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. As my family know, who are my main support team, I take nothing for granted, especially out in the sea. So especially since we swim in a cap, goggles and speedo briefs, which are not very much else. It's quite can be quite daunting. I've had great whites following me into Three Anchor Bay. I've had dolphins nudging me in my ribs. I've had seals dive bombing me from. I've had whales coming to look at me from very, very close. Interestingly enough, possibly the most hair-raising experiences have been with jellyfish, which sting really badly, and seagulls, which have pecked my shoulder from time to time.
Oh my gosh!
Obviously, the key issue, however, is dealing with the cold water.
Yeah.
And on Wednesday's 70th swim, we had seriously cold water, 11 degrees, overcast, a mist to start with, which kind of freaks out our long-distance swimming association because they have to monitor the swims and keep us safe. But it's really is a team effort. There's a lot of people involved in monitoring our swims and keeping me safe, and that makes it a lot easier.
Fantastic. Now you've been quoted that one of the most difficult things you've done was your swim in 1996 across the English Channel. I mean, tell us about that.
Yes, that was an interesting one. I failed in '89.
Yeah.
I swam into an oil slick, so that swim ended ignominiously after about 4.5 hours. So in 1996, my wife and I decided that I'd literally slink into Dover, do the swim. If I failed again, I'd slink back to Cape Town. And after 10 hours of swimming in beautiful conditions changed dramatically, and I found myself 800 meters from France and having to swim against a current for the next 4.5 hours, and having the boat's crew scream at me, shout all kinds of manner of things to get me to keep going forward. And that taught me a lot about myself, that last 800 meters, which took 2.5 hours.
Wow. Okay. Listen, let's quickly just talk about the beneficiaries of the proceeds, the children. It's the Splash program. What is the age group that you're targeting? And tell us a bit more about this program.
Okay, the Splash Development Swim program is run out of Bloberg Strand specifically, and what it does is it attempts to teach kids from disadvantaged backgrounds who would not have any hope of having any kind of water safety or swimming training whatsoever. So in South Africa, kids drown in sluices. They drown in 2 inches of water after rains. They drown in drains. They drown in buckets. And we're trying to assist the process through the Splash Development Swimming Program to prevent this in the future. And the beauty of it is that there are many people who give of their time voluntarily. Speedo has come on board as one of the sponsors, and it really is a fantastic program that needs to be supported far and wide.
All right. Now, a final question for you, and this is on my script, so I'm going to ask this. They asked me, on a lighter note, do you agree with the belief that ascribes the lack of swimming skills to physical anatomy, such as the shapes of white people's nostrils compared to black people's? What's this all about?
No, I'm amazed that such a question can be asked in this day and age.
Thank you very much.
The reality... Okay.
Yeah, no, the reality is, carry on, please.
Oh, sorry. The reality is that with the correct nutrition, with the correct swimming coaching, anybody can be taught to swim, anybody can be made into a champion, and South Africa is full of potential champions.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for talking to us about that. Perhaps people are still believing something like that, and maybe we just destroyed that myth. Theodore Yach, thank you so much for talking to us. Theodore is an ultra-cold water swimmer. He's swum from Robben Island to Cape Town 70 times, and I'm sure that's not going to be the last time. All right, let's take a break. Final news and weather after this, and then we've got some music for you as well on this Monday morning. Stay tuned to Monday Morning.